Hello again, everyone. Today's video is going to be on a Venn diagram. Now, there are several ways you can use a Venn diagram. Okay? Some people use it to solve mathematical problems. I have mentioned it in the past as it being used to organize your thoughts as a form of a writing strategy. But in this situation here, as you can see, we're going to be just doing what it says here at the top. We're going to be answering the questions based on a Venn diagram. Okay, so I've already have it here for you to look at. As you can see, I've got three different categories here, and there are some questions underneath that, and we're going to answer those questions based on the Venn diagram. Okay, before we do that though, I am going to kind of organize this a bit more for you, so when we're doing the questions, it's a little bit easier for you to hopefully see where to get the answers from. As you can see here in the Venn diagram, they do intersect in certain places, and you can see the numbers that are inside of these intersections here share maybe what could potentially be a couple of answers. Okay, so before we go to the questions, I'm going to go and try to make it a little bit easier for you to see the Venn diagram. Okay, let's take a look at those now. So I'm going to start here at the bottom of the Venn diagram. As you can see, the title says hot dog. And what I'm going to just do here is basically outline it here. I've outlined it in red, and I've also put up a photo of what a hot dog looks like in case maybe you're not all that familiar with what it looks like. There it is. Okay, so I'm just highlighting this just so you can see it a little bit easier, I hope. Okay, so I've highlighted the hot dog in red. Okay, so as you can see, all the numbers within the red circle here, which is the part of the Venn diagram, are part of the hot dog. They're also part of the other two categories, as you can see here. And the next one I'm going to talk about is a burger, a hamburger. And as you can see right above the picture of the hot dog, I've got a photo of a hamburger. I'm very sorry, the French fries and drink do not come with the hamburger. Okay, so it's just a hamburger, and I've circled that in brown. And you can see again, there are numbers within the brown portion of the hamburger that we will look at when we're answering specific questions about that. Okay, and as you can see, I talked about numbers intersecting. You can already see some numbers intersecting with the hot dogs, such as 2 and 4, which we may use or may not use depending on the question. Now the next food is going to be a cake. And as you again, you can see I highlighted the cake in what I believe is orange. I don't know what it looks like on your camera, but it's like an orange type of color. And I put a photo of the cake just so you can see what the cake looks like. Okay? So, and as you can see now, once again, like I said, some numbers intersect with, for the cake, some numbers for the cake intersect with the hamburger and the hot dog, as you can see here. Okay? So, and some don't. And there's only one for the cake that does not intersect. So like I said, we may or we may not be answering these questions, or the questions may not be answering all of the numbers, but what I've tried to do here is make this as clear as possible for you to see each specific category of food in this Venn diagram. So when we answer the questions now, they're much easier, I hope, for you to see. Okay, so when we're referring to a question, we're going to look carefully at this Venn diagram, see where the numbers lie, and if it's asking us to see other parts that the food that it intersects with other foods, we're going to mention that. Okay, all right then, let's go ahead and answer the questions for the Venn diagram now. So let's go ahead and read the directions for answer the questions based on a Venn diagram, which is the heading here. It says, in a birthday party, cakes, burgers, and hot dogs are served, and it is represented by a Venn diagram below. Okay, so it's just showing us what I've explained, just explaining what I've shown us already here. So let's take a look at number 1 now. Okay, so they want to know how many had hot dogs. Okay, so at this birthday party, they want to know how many people had hot dogs. So like I said, we want to focus on the red portion of the Venn diagram here, which is here again. Okay, so how many had hot dogs? Now it doesn't say anything about having just hot dogs. It just wants to know hot dogs. Based on that question, we know 10 for sure had just hot dogs, but we also know 4 more here had hot dogs as well, along with a burger. And we also know that 2 more here also had a hot dog, a burger, and a cake here. And then we also know that 3 people had a hot dog as well as a cake. So if we're just answering the question of how many people had hot dogs, we're just going to add the 10, the 4, which is 14. 14 plus 2 is 16. And then 16 plus 3 is 19. So if you want to know how many people had hot dogs, we know there's 19 based on this question here. Question number 2 says, how many had only cakes? So as you can see, this one is being much more specific. They want to know how many only had cake alone. Just cake. That's it. So if we're looking at the Venn diagram, we can see the cake here. And we just want to know how many had cake only. Okay. So these intersections here where there's cakes with hot dogs and cakes with hot dogs, hamburgers, as well as cake, and then, cake and this burger, we're not looking at that, okay? We're looking at this number here, this number 5, because these 5 individuals only had cake, that's it. So that's the answer for number 2, 5. Okay, so the answer to number 2, again, how many had only cakes, is 5. Number 3, how many had both cakes and burgers? And again, I just made that reference about who had just cakes and burgers. So we know 5 people had cake. Oh, excuse me, that's wrong. Looking at the question again, it says how many had both cakes and burgers, and that's all, just cakes and hamburgers. So if we look on the Venn diagram, we see here that the number 4 intersects with both cake and hamburgers. And the number 2 also intersects with cake and hamburgers. So you take 4, add it to 2, and your answer is 6. Looking at question number 4, it says how many had hot dog and cake but no burger? So again, we're just looking at how many individuals had a hot dog and a cake, but they didn't have a hamburger. Okay, so we're looking again where the cake and the hot dog are intersecting with each other, and that's right here where I'm circling the number 3. These 3 people had a hot dog and a cake, but they did not eat a hamburger. So the question for number 4, how many had hot dog and cake but no burger, is 3. Okay. Number 5 says how many had at least 2 items. Wow, very specific. So they want to know how many people had two things, not one, not three, two things. Okay, so in this one we have to read it look at this very carefully here. So again, we're just going to look and see where we see just where the Venn diagrams intersect with. So looking at who ate at least two items, we can see that four people ate a cake and a burger, and two people ate a cake, a burger, and a hot dog, which makes it six. And we see that four people ate a cake. I'm sorry, not four. Four people ate a burger and a hot dog. Okay, so four people ate a burger and a hot dog. And then we can see three people ate a cake and a hot dog. And all those are at least two items. So if you just add the 4 to the 2 to the 4 to the 3, the answer is going to be 13. Okay? And the key word to pay attention to here in the question is at least two items. So you want to have two items minimum and anything more than that. Hence the cake, the burger, and the hot dog being included in this equation here. Okay, so this is just a demo on how to read a Venn diagram. And now what I'm going to do next is show you a bonus activity where you'll be doing a Venn diagram as well. As always, it'll be similar but not exactly the same, and the questions will be almost ideal to what you are seeing right here. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at that now. So here's the bonus activity. And again, it's similar to what we just did, but not exact here. And the directions say, put these people in the correct places in these Venn diagrams. So again, in the previous activity, the information was already inside the Venn diagram, and then we answered those questions. Here, we have to take the information given, and that's here in this chart above the Venn diagram, and insert it into the three categories here. Now, the three categories, I'll go over it, are girls, over 120 centimeters tall, and likes basketball. Okay, and if you look here in the chart, it's got boy and girl, and it doesn't seem like we're going to have anything to enter anything for the Venn diagram regarding just boys, so we can focus on the girls. Age, height in centimeters, and likes basketball. Okay, so you're going to be reading about each person. There's Ben, Aisha, Kate, Max, Kyle, and Holly. Okay, so you're going to answer, you're going to fill in the information based on what you read here. How many girls are there? What are their ages, which doesn't really seem to apply, so you can actually skip it. The height, here's their height. I'm not going to read the numbers off to you. You can see that for yourself. And then likes basketball. Okay, so you're going to take that information here and then just put it inside the Venn diagram here. Okay, and you just write the number just like you saw on the previous one. Just tell me if it's 2, 3, 5, like that. Okay, and just fill it in and then send it out to me. Now, if you can't get to a printer, as might be the case, this is very simple to draw. Just draw 3 circles like this, where they're intersecting like this, and just make sure you write the title of what each part of the Venn diagram is clearly and neatly, just like this. And then you can just answer the question like that. You don't need to draw the chart per se, because I think that will take too much time. You can just answer the questions like that. I can cross-check it with the chart that I have, well, as you can see here. Okay, so go ahead and try that out. Shoot it out to me, and I would like to make a video about it to see how you did. Okay, and as always, hey, thank you again for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and as always, you guys all stay safe out there. Okay, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you once again for joining in today's lesson. Please message me through Facebook Messenger, or you can email me at jollyformore@gmail.com to learn more about my online tutorial service. Please leave a comment down below. If you know someone interested in hiring an online tutor, share this video. And if you would like to get a bell notification for all my newest videos, please subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. And until then, please be safe out there. Have a great day.